What a ridiculous time to run a stream. But, you know, I want to talk about Game of Thrones for a little bit, and everybody is otherwise occupied, so I suppose I can finish Simpsons Hit and Run and speak to a selection of people on the line, as they say. Hello, Shrek 2. That is a perfect name. Do you ever sleep? No, that is just a myth. Sleep isn't actually needed, it's just a lie everyone tells each other. So yeah, for all those people who are waking up in Britain and maybe have a commute, it can keep you company. For those who can't sleep, same thing. For anybody who's just around. I'm gonna sit here for a little bit, play a video game, chat with you folks. This is too early. I mean, I won't be here for a long time. Though I am leaving my Gmail notifications on, there's a chance that someone wanted to talk to me about Thrones. Totally bring them on this stream if they want, and make sure I keep track of that. Why Simpsons? Because I played this game all the time when I was a young man. Oh wait, you know what? I don't. I want to travel around Sprungfeld. Actually, I'm not even sure if this is Springfield. I forget if this is like considered Shelbyville or whatever. I know that the primary map is the... I don't know if all of them are or none of them. You know, it's a complicated... Where the fuck is the mobile phone house? God. You the best for helping me. So tired. Thank you for the $1, Shrek 2. Beautiful name. So yeah, I mean, the new episode wasn't bad enough to like make a video on it, but man, there was some bad shit in it. And it's like perpetual disappointment. I don't know how else to put it, really. I realize the Discord window isn't on screen, but I mean, I wouldn't need to, right? Because it's just no point now. Just me. Ain't nobody here. Rumor has it that episode 4 is bad. I'm glad I dropped out of the show and await winter. Yes, episode 4 was bad. It's exactly what I said in my rage video. Everybody's just politicking. Everyone's giving each other looks, and everyone's being naughty and evil. It's just starting up a bunch of plotting again, and I was just like, ugh. What was disappointing? Go in detail. So how does the episode... The episode starts with, like, funeral for all the people. And I thought it was really funny because, it shows, like, I want to say 100 or 200 bodies. I was, like, pretty sure they said they lost half of their forces, and their forces amounted to, like, 300,000 things. So I guess you had to be special to be able to get a funeral pyre. Everyone else was just, like, lame and no one cares. The game is louder than you. Is that so? It doesn't look louder, according to OBS. I'm apparently overthrowing it. Is it true for anyone else? I don't want it to be, like, muted. I also want you guys to be able to hear it, so... Let know. Hello, Baywin. How you doing? Yeah. Bees, dude. I hate when bees vaporize you with their ray guns. It doesn't look louder. Well, when you have volume literally detected on OBS, you can actually see it rather than hear it. A little too loud. Alright, yeah. I will take the game down a bit. Great, I just launched Battle.net. Go away. Oh. Okay, now it's actually pretty far down, but I mean, honestly, according to OBS, it's like barely hearable. If you guys want it that way, then fine, it'll just be my voice. Even though you could probably hear there's a fan behind me, I'm hoping it's not too annoying. But it might be. You can get to see Brienne's flat chest. I mean, I don't know that would... Though we got to see her do her cry. How the hell do you aim a ballista from a rocking ship at a flying target hundreds of meters away? Please kill me. Yeah, no, I actually laughed when I was watching the episode, because the way they film it, Daddy is like filing, like la la la, then just goes, and I was like, what? How did you not? And then just like all these sneaky ships from behind a rock did it. I was like, what the hell is Euron doing there? Like, how did he even? What? Can you imagine that? Like, he's over in wherever he is. And he's just chilling. Teleporting sniper fleet. Hey, Theo, do you want to jump into a call with me? You've probably seen Game of Thrones. It's better if I have someone to bounce off of, and I know that I can trust you. You're not a Tism. Taking all my goddamn money. Bees are mugging me. Oh, why not? Damn it, I'm heading to bed next time. Hey, Jeremy, if you... Wait, are you on the cruise or whatever? I'll totally have a chat with you if you want. Risk it, dude. Take away some of that sleep schedule. And talk to me about things, you know? Where's Theo? Start voice call. Yeah, that's that. Ta-da!
Oh man,
That was a really
that
good
was
episode.
yeah, it was fantastic.
I wasn't disappointed at all.
I was clapping the whole way through.
When legit when the dragon got hit, I was just like, what nonsense is this?
Oh god. Like I said, I was watching it with a bunch of people and we all just burst out laughing. It was fantastic. Because
Cool.
again, like you were saying, the way it's filmed, it's like she's flying around with that dragon. It's like, wow, it's so happy, everything's lovely, and then just boom, down he goes.
And the fact that they get him with 2. I
Yeah,
was like, they hit him with 2? That's impressive.
they fired 3 shots, landed 2 direct hits to vital areas and 1 glancing blow.
One went
It's like-
through his throat. I was like, wow.
They hit it right in the throat and dead center of the chest in 2 of the out of their 3 shots. It's like,
I feel
Come
when
on,
Euron's
man.
a better shot than the Night King.
Euron's fucking insane. What can't he do? He has a teleporting fleet of ships that can be wherever they need to be. They apparently have a cloaking field as well, because nobody noticed them, despite Daenerys being that high up in the air.
Yeah.
Nobody saw. It's fine.
Have a good show, guys. Be better than tonight's Game of Thrones. Yeah, I know. I'll see you around, Jeremy. Good stuff. There was a problem in season 7, when he just magically found the Ironborn fleet. It was like, oh, okay. And I remember talking to people about it and being like, I guess Euron just has like he's the god of the sea, apparently. He just knows where everyone is at all times, whatever enters the sea.
Apparently so.
I can't believe,
them.
like, they just revealed that his little fleet were hiding behind, like, a selection of rocks. It's like, what?
They were just hiding behind some rocks. It's fine. Nobody saw them. Nobody saw the 10 odd ships hiding behind the rocks.
Oh, that was so
Not
bad.
Daenerys from high up in the sky on her dragon.
Also, did you catch all the looking there was in this episode? Whenever someone makes a statement at any point in a scene, someone else just looks at them like,
Yeah, constantly, all the
I
time.
get it. Everyone hates each other, apparently. Fine. Also,
So-
Sansa stood to her word for like 5 seconds.
It's fine.
Won't tell anyone,
listen-
except I will.
listened to the commentary at the end about the episode, and according to D&D, that was because she's learned from Littlefinger. She's playing the game.
Uh-huh.
She knows that that'll destabilize Daenerys' rule and such like. It's like incredible. She's so skilled suddenly.
It makes complete
this come
sense.
from? Yeah. So, someone from Discord, just David, is asking, do you have any guesses on how Game of Thrones is going to end? That's the reaction I want.
They could do anything. The prevailing theory right now is that Arya is going to stab Cersei wearing Jaime's face.
Oh, it's a fun fact about the time bullshit in this episode.
Uh-huh.
I remember Aelin ran the numbers very briefly, and I have no way of checking how accurate this is, but I'll take him at his word. Seems pretty smart. He says, over the course of this episode, for all the events that happened to have taken place, about 3 months need to have passed in this episode.
So, they were at King's Landing at the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that blew my mind. I was like,
Mm.
it's like a harsh cut to them all standing at... I thought it was like a dream. I was like, why isn't Cersei just firing everything at them?
Oh, yeah, because what does Daenerys do if Cersei's archers just open fire right then and there?
Yeah, it's over. And this is the thing, you might be like, oh, well, it's honor. It's like, Cersei Lannister? The person who exploded a church filled with her family?
She blew up the Vatican with the Pope in it.
Yeah.
Like
Cersei doesn't really stick to honor, it's not her thing.
No.
Insanity. They all just stand there looking, and then when Tyrion walked up to it, and they play the exact same scene as the previous season, where she has to decide whether or not she'll have him killed. And I was like, I was like, oh, this time she will. Then it's like she doesn't. I was like, okay.
Oh, I love how it cuts from Euron ambushing Daenerys and her fleet straight to King's Landing, as if there's not a massive passage of time.
Yeah, they have to go
those two
back, then they
events.
have to... There's loads of shit they gotta do, but yeah, no, man, it's, the rushing of the show is never been more evident, I think.
It was bad in season 7, but boy, it was really bad in this season.
Yeah, like,
'Cause-
people want a rage episode for this, but I'm just like, I feel like my current video covers this. It's like, it's gonna go back to politicking, gonna go back to fast traveling, and just like crappy writing. It's all, like, I don't think anyone needs me to explain it right now. I might do a season recap or something, but good god, what a disaster.
We predicted that half the Unsullied somehow survive as
Yeah,
well.
that happened. They got restocked from nowhere. I thought they were going to get given supplies from across the sea, but no, it was worse than that. They just have them.
They're just... How they survive?
They're like, we have 50%. It's like, how? Where were they? Like, were they just hiding some?
They were covering the retreat. They were taking the brunt of the dead. So, where did they? Where did they go?
Oh my god, it's been so bad.
Another great sub-consequence of the time fuckery is that, if I'm not mistaken, in fact, I'm pretty confident in saying that, you said Arya should kill Cersei. Well, she's in King's Landing by that point.
You must
'Cause
be.
She has to be. She left before Daenerys, and Daenerys had to go all the way out to the sea, then all the way down, then ride all the way out to King's Landing again.
I mean, dude, we got 2 episodes. Arya's going to be in King's Landing in the next.
And if she's not, then D&D fucked up.
They could put anyone anywhere at any time for some reason. Mauler, I know it's 8 there in Loisance Land, but here in the West Burgerland it's midnight. Is Elder Scrolls Morrowind officially better written than Game of Thrones? Probably. I don't know why it wouldn't be. I hear good things about Morrowind, actually.
Yeah, same. But I don't think it's very difficult to be better written than Game of Thrones at this point.
Yeah, no, not tough. So Mauler, are you getting a copy of Subverse? I'm actually interested. I've seen a trailer for it and I was like, you know what? It's fun. Game of Thrones has always been bad, to be honest. I'm tired of people saying Game of Thrones was always...
I don't think that's... The first 4 seasons were really good.
Really like... I think, like, I have a friend who considers season 1 to be some of the best TV there is. It's just like, that's pretty good.
The funny thing about the whole, I guess, outcry over the subversion of expectations with Arya getting the killing blow on the Night's King and such like, is Game of Thrones used to be known for, like, good subversion. Like, Ned Stark dying, for example. That's a really good subversion, I'd say.
Yeah, so a subversion of Jon killing the Night King is Jon killing the Night King because of someone else, or, you know, he gets a coincidental blow at the same time as someone else. Or you don't subvert it to the point where he's not even involved. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's cool. Just suddenly his arc is over. His story doesn't really do anything anymore. And I love
Yeah,
it.
he's kind of a puppet at this point. Like, I don't get Jon anymore. He was like, he's hardcore into serving Cersei, but I'm pretty, Daenerys, but I'm pretty sure all that's left for him now is he's probably gonna kill her. Like, he'll be the one to execute her or something. Like, that's the only thing I can see happening now.
I guess. Yeah, he's like Bran and pretty much everyone else who was ever involved with that storyline. He's just got nothing to do anymore.
Brad. So we finally found out what he's been doing. He's been looking in the past at other wheelchairs to design his own wheelchair.
Just browsing a catalog.
I can't believe he says it to fucking Tyrion, as if Tyrion should be able to react to that any way other than what? Like, you gotta... It's like, oh yeah, they had this wheelchair 100 years ago. It's like, okay. Cool.
So
What?
that's what he's doing. Like, what's the point of his existence now?
I'm sorry, if you knew someone who could go into any part of the past at any point at will, wouldn't you be like, holy fuck, I have a lot of questions?
Maybe. Everyone kind of just keeps treating him
No one
like he doesn't
cares.
exist. No, nobody gives a shit. They've got politicking to get back to.
Oh, I hate it so much. Hate it. It's not fair. And maybe it would work. Well, no, it just doesn't work regardless. But we've only got 2 episodes left. Got way too many characters that want to do separate things. It's gonna be such a disappointing ending no matter what they do.
Someone's getting screwed over this ending no matter what, because it's like they had so much time and yet they've run out of time. I feel like so much of the past few seasons has been spent with scenes that I can only really describe as dawdling.
Yeah.
So much time spent like standing around talking, not really accomplishing anything. It kind of like maybe a little bit of character development out of 1 or 2 characters per scene, but never really actually getting anywhere. Which is, I guess, most seen through probably like Daenerys' thing in Meereen, where she just spends ages just bumming around in Meereen, not really doing much of anything.
Have you seen that, like, there's leaks going around, but they're all, like, different leaks?
I've seen a lot of leaks over
Yeah, I've
around
seen
the
a shit ton of
internet,
leaks. Some of them are already confirmed not true now by the latest episode. I'm trying to, like, I don't really care. Like, a friend of mine was, you know, in a call with me when I was looking through some leaks, and he's like, don't tell me. And then he was like, wait, why do you not care about it? And I was like, why do I not care about leaks anymore? Well, because they destroyed Game of Thrones already? Like, like what else are they gonna do?
Yeah, by all rights, the White Walkers are defeated, so the narrative should be, like, done.
What a nice point they could have had with this show. That, should cooperate instead of squabbling. And instead, it's we should squabble instead of cooperating. So, great.
Yeah, that's essentially the message we're getting. It's like, get the White Walkers out of the way so we can get back to the politicking, because they know that's
White
what
Walkers are just an annoyance.
Yeah.
I can't believe
like...
the vast majority of characters were either unaware of or thought the White Walkers were a joke.
By all rights, anyone south, like any of the Southerners, should just be laughing at the North right now. Like, the White Walkers, this is that deadly threat you were so afraid of.
You haven't even seen Cersei react to the fact that apparently the White Walkers have been defeated. She doesn't even... You know when they turn up in King's Landing, I could be surprised if she was like, are they dead, by the way? Do it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
You'd hope for it to at least get, you know, acknowledged a little bit, but no. It's been brushed aside just as quickly as it came and went. The long night,
disappointing. And yeah, so for the people who are like... I saw a leak that said that Bran says at some point that the Night King is far from dead or something like that. And I was
Yeah.
But I was just thinking to myself, like, there's no way that they can do anything with the Night. It's 2 episodes. What are you going to do?
They've officially run out of time. They can't undo what they've done.
And if someone said, no, the next episode, opening scene, we see Winterfell, all the shards of the Ice King reform, and he comes back, and then he lifts everyone up, and all the dead... I'd just be like, you can't.
It's too late.
Like, what would that even... oof.
I mean, even before episode 3, I kind of had my doubts, because I don't think you can really have a battle at Winterfell unless you're prepared to kill every single named character at Winterfell.
Yeah, what everybody was hoping was they'd retreat out, and then Dany would be so... like, limited in power, as would all of our characters, that we need Cersei's help to defeat the Night King.
Here's the problem, though. You can't retreat from the army of the dead.
Not really,
they don't
no.
rest. They're at a constant sprint, and they don't rest.
Oh, water would be the way, right?
I guess, if you can get to water.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully not too far away from it, but ultimately, the easier way out for them was to have it so that they assault Cersei. They'd pretty much destroy King's Landing. What a message that would be for the rest of the kingdoms. King's Landing is officially... And you have, like, a shot at the end of the episode of the fucking Night King sits on the throne just for fan service. Why not? So we could all go, oh, that's so cool! I would have taken that any day over fucking subversion. Bored of subversion.
Yeah, it's just like, honestly, it's just when you say it, you say it out loud and realize that the apocalypse didn't make it like halfway through one of the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh, dude, this whole episode was such a sobering idea of that as well. Everywhere's bright. There's barely any snow.
Oh yeah, they completely forgot that it started snowing on King's Landing at the end of season 7.
Yeah, it's just sunny. They wouldn't even know that.
They-
I was just like, oh, did the summer really just arrive because the Night King's now dead? It's like, oh no.
Is that what happened, or did
I
they
don't know.
forget?
It's either that or just a fuck up. I thought that the seasons were irrelevant of the Night King and that he was bringing winter, like a boosted winter, with him.
That certainly seems to be the case because of Hardhome and the
Yeah.
storm he brought with him this time.
But oh my god, I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know what the plan is. They seem to be going down the Mad Queen Daenerys route kind of thing.
Say that,
This
Mola,
is-
but you'd complain about fan service too. I just said that I would. But there is... Just because you complain about a thing doesn't mean that every complaint is... Well, fuck me, there's things to complain about in the OT of Star Wars. Doesn't mean that they're on
Yeah.
par with The Last Jedi. Yeah, the police after me. Innocent school bus driver, that's the word.
Yeah, one of them.
Wow, they ran over a child. Game
Did.
promotes violence.
Someone deplatformed this game.
With that sting. I think you missed my super chat last stream, so here we go again. John was wearing an Arya mask, and that's how John actually killed the Night King. Oh, okay. That saves
Oh,
the
that'd
whole
be-
show. I agree with that. Headcanon.
It's fixed now.
The standoff at the city gates could have been maybe handled better if you know they didn't sacrifice their best archer guarding a useless cripple. That whole end scene is enough to make a video on. Like, I don't want to, someone else could, but like, it's just so bizarre. It just suddenly happens. Everyone's just all there somehow. Do you know
Yeah.
that Missandei could have killed Cersei?
How so?
Grabs her hands and they both fall off the edge. Simple as fucking that. It's the most bizarre setup ever. And how cool would that have been?
So
Because Missandei could have been like Dracarys that puts her fucking chains around Cersei's neck and drags her off the edge. It'd just been like, yeah, but it would ruin the whole show probably.
It would have been that easy. Well, how can you ruin it anymore?
Yeah, this is what I mean. At this point, I'm just like, yeah, go for it, whatever.
Yeah, at this point, I'm watching along just to like, honestly, to laugh. It's just
Yeah, it's
funny
embarrassing
at this point.
It was a shame because, good God, did they have every resource. Got all the actors, the money, the sets, the clothing. Everything was there.
Even the writing from George R.R. Martin himself. Like, he gave them a lot of information on how he wanted the ending sequences to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, one has to wonder how much of this is his work.
Well, considering he's not promoting it or talking about it at all, I assume that he just is disconnected from it at this point. I don't know.
I guess maybe, yeah.
Fucking Rhaegal, so unceremoniously murdered. Why didn't they just have him die at the Battle of Winterfell to kill another dragon? You have the two dragons die to kill each other.
That would have been fine. That would have been good. I guess they
Instead,
wanted
it's just casually like, oh, he's dead, bye. Like, okay.
I think I just figured out because they wanted to pay off the whatchamacallit, the scorpion thingies that we'd seen Qyburn making in previous seasons. They
Right.
wanted to like they set that up like, wow, Cersei's got this weapon that can kill dragons. So it's like, okay, how do we pay off this setup? Well, we just shoot a dragon, right?
Yeah. It blows my mind that it was a fucking secret to her. It's a jump scare kill. It's like, how does that work?
How can she not? She's so high up in the air. How can
know what's
she
funny?
not see
Have you
10 ships?
Have you seen the Burlington Bar videos?
I haven't.
So they release videos. There's apparently some place in America, I guess, where they play the episode in a bar, and they have loads of cameras for the entire audience.
Right. Oh yeah.
I know that when Rhaegal gets fucking nuked, that bar would explode. It would just be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of thing where I saw someone made a comment on my video that got pretty high up. It said, these episodes are practically made for the Burlington Bar. I'm just like, yeah, that actually might be the case at this point.
It for sure seems that way. Because it's everything Game of Thrones is in like skin alone. Like wow, anyone could die at any moment, so Rhaegal's gonna die completely out of the blue because stuff, and Ed's gonna die in probably the most predictable way possible, and we're gonna
Evangeline
kill.
confirms Morrowind is written better than Game of as Theo said, pretty much everything like, should be
Yeah,
better than Game of Thrones at this point.
I have heard decent to good things about Morrowind though. Can't say I've ever played it though.
Made a video of my theories that Tyrion kills Dany. I could totally see that happening. I think that
Yeah.
Dany's gonna kill Varys next episode, by the way.
Oh God, I hope not. Varys was like the only enjoyable thing about this episode in
Yeah,
terms of like
but
genuine enjoyment.
kind of like just so disinterested in all of the politics, I guess.
Hmm.
Just so done with it. I love how hard the show is working to make it so that Dany burning the Red Keep just needs to happen. It's like, I have to do it.
I have to burn the Red Keep, but what if we just don't? Oh no, it has to happen. It's the most important plot element because otherwise we don't get Mad Daenerys and we don't get a bunch of other characters reacting to that.
I think that's what the next episode is going to be. It's going to be an attack on King's Landing, right?
I guess.
But even
with
though,
what
is the
army?
plan right now to surround it and prevent them from having supplies? That's what John said, right?
That's the only. I don't know. What does Daenerys have at her disposal? What's
Dude, this next episode is going to be another, war one. I feel like it's going to be so dumb that I might make a rage video. Like, I'm already... This episode pissed me off a little bit, but, like, I was numb to a lot of it. But I feel like the next episode... Because I don't know why it is, but the action scenes seem to be able to piss me off more. I think it's just because, like, writing combat can be, like, really tism in this show, I guess. I don't know.
well, I've gone over with a few other people. Yeah, the writing on a lot of the battles in terms of strategy and such like is often really bad.
It's...
But so, yeah, the next episode can't really be anything other than a battle, can it? They can't spend another episode beating around the bush for the battle. So
I think it has to be a battle that has a shocking ending. Well, literally episode 3 again, I guess.
yeah,
Cersei's death at
this
the end of
time.
episode 5, episode 6 has to be the epilogue. That's the only way I can structure it, right?
I can't think of any other way to do it. So that, I keep.
You see
going back to the
Drogon
question of,
chilling
like,
out in the background at the end, by the way. He was just
that
like,
was another
"Huh?"
question. Why don't they just take all the scorpions and point them at Drogon if it's apparently so easy to land direct hits on dragons from a great distance?
I'm just stuck at the fact that all your archers and ballista, whatever they are, just aim them all at that crowd of people. Aim for the main characters, obviously, and just nuke them all. Cersei just wins.
Yep. By all rights, Cersei should have
And
won. At the
it's
end
so in character for her to do that.
Mm.
Watching this show
Heck,
is
I probably-
painful.
I probably would have enjoyed it if she had done that, and only a few of the named characters had got out, if any.
Yeah.
Again, I keep coming back to what does Daenerys have? Because I was led to believe that all the Unsullied were dead, then apparently half of them
No,
are
there's a
still
load of
around.
them left too, apparently, yeah.
I was led to believe that we were out of Dothraki, but apparently there's still some of them kicking around in a throwaway line.
Yeah, where were they? That makes no sense.
How did... So they ride off into the darkness to fight the army of the dead, and then somehow enough of them that it's worth pointing out in terms of battle planning survive that and don't
Are they
run
behind the
straight back.
castle? And they just never used them? Like, I don't know.
They were the coward Dothraki, they were hiding.
Oh, that's bullshit. Episode 4 is out, and it's really bad. I still think that episode 1 and 2 were, like, mediocre. These two have been really bad, though.
Episode 1 and 2, I can... Yeah, they're okay, but I can't help but see them in the light of season 7's ending. To me, there's kind of a disjoint between season 7's ending and season 8's beginning, because the sense of urgency of the wall just fell down just really isn't there. It's kind of treated like business as usual to an extent.
And how did we ever find out exactly how Tormund and a bunch of other people managed to be behind the dead and then in front of them?
That's a really good question. I don't think we ever did know. They just snuck around the army of the dead that can
Everybody's got
apparently hear a
fast
drop of
travel. It's
blood
really
falling.
cool.
Oh, everyone being able to. Oh, there's another thing. It's a smaller thing, but still. I noticed when we were watching it, we noticed after Tyrion walks past Qyburn, when we next get a clear shot behind Tyrion, Qyburn's just gone.
Yeah, that's true. He's just gone.
I guess
I thought it was weird as fuck that Tyrion was speaking on behalf of Daenerys. I was like, why would Daenerys be okay with that?
I don't know. Because Qyburn was... I don't know. I can't think of a good argument for why. Because they wanted to give Tyrion a dialogue talking to Cersei.
So boring.
I think
Totally.
that's the worst offense of this episode. A lot of it was just really kind of boring.
Yeah, and there was a couple of things I liked. I liked Tormund talking about how he'd lost his lady love, Brienne. The camera pans just the Hound. Like the last person in the world who would want to listen to that. I thought, I was like, that gives me a smile. Thanks, show.
Tormund got to be decently funny this episode. I liked it.
Tormund has turned into almost entirely comic relief, which is interesting. I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but I do have a problem with the wildlings just leaving to go to the north with Ghost. What the hell was that about? I love the idea that this show is about bringing everyone together, a united front with all these different cultures that have clear lines drawn between them, and the dead broke them all down. And then they recover, and it's like, nah, we're going back to the north. It's like, okay.
Back to the probably uninhabited north.
Yeah, well, maybe not. I always thought that they were going to give the wildlings, you know, a place to live in the kingdoms. May as well, considering, like, 80% of civilization has been wiped out at this point. Like, you might as well just give them a fucking castle. I don't know.
Apparently they just don't want it.
So bizarre.
They just want to go back past the wall.
The other guy breathes into his mic when he talks. Oh, it's fine. You can hear what he's saying.
I'm sorry. My mic needs to be this close to my mouth or I'm too quiet.
Didn't watch Game of Thrones because I knew they would ruin it. Well, some nice things are in it, here and there. Are you sure it was bad? Jeremy Johns is smiling in his thumbnail. When's he ever had a bad take on anything? I mean, I like Jeremy Johns sometimes, but you know, when you do immediate takes on stuff, you'll often find your feelings change even after a day. I mean, I don't need to remind you guys that Wolf loved episode 3 after we first watched it, right? And I don't know if you saw his reaction to the episode after he thought about it, but it was a little bit different. Like, slightly different. It was a slight change in emotion. And it's the same for me, by the way. I didn't think episode 3 was nearly as bad after I first watched it. I was like, a lot of tism in there. I don't know how I feel about all of it. And then I got to think about it. It is the key for everybody. And so when you like do a channel that has instant takes on stuff, I just feel like that you end up maybe having some takes, you're like, you know what, maybe not. But then the unfortunate thing is like a lot of people try and commit to them then, whether or not your feelings have actually changed, which is a shame. But I could see people liking all of this season, I guess. People like stuff. I wouldn't want to take that away from them.
I mean, episode 3 was pretty in the parts you could see.
People have trouble saying it's pretty because they're like, but it's pitch black.
Just, you know, the bits you could actually see.
I mean, the shot where the White Walkers are walking into the castle, I was like, man, that's pretty cool. The composition, the lighting, I was like, I like that. This is cool stuff.
The shots of the dragonfire illuminating the storm and against the backdrop of the castle and the battle. I'm like, this is nice. And even just the first visual with the Dothraki with their flaming arachs slowly going out one by one, that was nice.
Yep.
But then, yeah, that's visuals, huh?
Yep. Will this stream be available later? If so, where? You can find it in Watto's Junkyard, a channel on my Discord, in which you can find an invite in the description of this video. How did the Valyrian Freehold conquer half of Essos if dragons are so easy to kill? Apparently, nobody had scorpions back then. That's the only way I can answer that. Remember how they sort of set it up in season, I feel like season 4? Where they said Dorne was the only place the dragons couldn't conquer. And so it was like, ooh, what did Dorne have? And I thought that the point was going to be that whatever Dorne, there was a secret in Dorne that they were going to use against the dragons. And like, you realize now, it's like, why didn't they just make it so that Dorne had scorpions? That's where they got the idea from. But no, it's just a fucking Kybin thing. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he just built a really good ballista type thing. And that's all you really needed, I guess.
Yep.
Even though the first one didn't do that great of a job against was it Drogon?
Yeah, but he missed, I guess.
I thought he scored like a fairly solid hit, but it just didn't do so great because of Drogon's scales and such like. But
I knew the arrows bounced off his scales, but I thought that the Bronn missed him. Oh, Bronn was annoying in this episode, by the way.
Oh, he was. I didn't.
What a waste of Bronn. All we needed to have him do was threaten the shit out of them and then reveal he actually doesn't give a shit about money anymore. That the one thing he's learned throughout his entire time in this fucking show is that he'll never be able to keep the money he gets. And that fuck it at this point, and that you'll just join them. That would have been great. But no, he does this weird thing where he's like, I'm gonna kill you guys unless you promise me a castle, and then you need to live through the war. I'll be watching you. It's like, what?
It's really bad. That entire scene, I just found myself rolling my eyes.
What a waste of time. What is this crap?
What's the point of this?
How did he get in there, and why does nobody care about anything, and how did he get there so fast?
That's another good one. How the hell did he get into Winterfell? And how did he know where they were? Was he just watching them?
I love how as well he fires the crossbow as a show of the fact that he's willing to kill them, and then like quickly reloads it. And I was like, you realize firing it means you have no weapon, like, so maybe could have like kicked the table and shit could have happened. He's just like, no, quickly reload. Ah, I'm a threat again. It's like
amazing how quickly he can reload it too.
And not to mention, he's like, you wouldn't kill me. Shoots arrow at wall. Proof that he would kill him. It's like, no. You just proved you'd kill the wall, I guess.
Yeah. Ever heard of a warning shot? It's quite a simple concept.
Like, I thought when he fired it, he was going to shoot Jaime in, like, his knee or leg or arm or something. It was like, he shot the wall. Like, okay.
That could have been interesting. Oh, on the note of Jaime. Jaime's going back to Cersei, I guess.
So I'm not too uncomfortable with that. I think that what he's talking about when he's talking to Brienne was that Cersei is the last part of him he needs to get rid of. Become a good man. That's what you can interpret what he's saying to her as, while on the surface he's just saying, I'm a bad man, I'm going back to being a bad man. Because if he's actually just going back to being a bad man, then yeah, this show's fucked. Because he's not Jaime Lannister anymore, he's a completely different dude.
See, I want to hope so, but again, the post-episode commentary leads me to... It makes me think otherwise, because D&D described... they described Cersei as an addiction for him, something that he can't quite kick, and that worries me.
Oh, I guess we're gonna see, because there's no way they're saving the show in the next 2 episodes. It's not happening.
Again, they just can't. There's too much ground to cover, and they spent too much time not covering it, and rendering the primary plot line that was going to be the driving force of the show kind of pointless.
Morning. Seen episode 4, or is this 3 only? Yeah, this is 4. I was wondering if... Watching none of it, but I've heard read the overview. If you want, Titan, I can get you in this call. Fuck it, why not? Get all the English guys in here, considering the time of day, it makes sense, I guess. All the Americans will be sleeping, all well, Britain will be working, I guess. You got a day off? What's your deal, Theo? How come you're not in work?
University and stuff. I'm writing an essay that I've got to hand in tomorrow.
Oh. Should you be here right now? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I have plenty of time. You know.
Oh, hello. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Well, it's morning actually.
No,
And,
it's the evening somewhere.
well, true, but I'm on holiday at the moment, so
Oh.
yay.
Very nice.
So,
Oh.
huge shock, Game of Thrones isn't very good again.
I was just reading it and I was just like, what are you doing? Why?
It's pretty lame, unfortunately. But what are you gonna do, you know?
The thing is, it's not an impressive failure, it's just bad.
Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. This episode, more so than last episode, was just eh.
Well,
Apart
this is also, it seems to be the first episode in Game of Thrones history to not get more than 80% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well,
So it's
episode
doing,
3 went below that, right?
Oh, did it? Oh, well.
Oh, episode 3's being hated, dude.
Da, 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 da.
Wait, have you seen my video on it?
Oh, yeah!
I was
It was
gonna
a great
say,
video.
so you know about it then.
Yeah, of course I do. I mean, I'm not watching it, but I'm every Monday morning I'm reading the overviews.
even like Angry Joe and such like are turning on episode 3.
Yeah.
It's really not doing well.
3 has 74 on Rotten Tomatoes. According to Rotten Tomatoes, this one's worse than 3.
Well, considering that's a big payoff battle episode and those usually do really well, that's really bad.
It's like, it's very unlikely, right? But I actually think that D&D killed the White Walkers, and then they've seen the reaction online, they were like, oh fuck, people cared about them? They're just zombies.
Well, I've heard rumours that they're planning to bring them back at some point in this season, which
But there's
I
only
don't
2
know.
episodes left!
I know, exactly. It's just we've got a 6-episode season finale, well, series finale, and then halfway through, the big bad evil guy we've been building up for 8 seasons. Oh, he's gone. Don't worry. Let's get back to killing that blonde drunk alcoholic.
Yep.
Yeah, the drunk queen and her horny pirate boyfriend are a more threatening foe than...
And the eternally charismatic Harry Strickland, who's just there.
I mean, it's insane that when you look at like the collective kill counts of all characters in Game of Thrones, the Night King is one of the lowest, if not the lowest scoring.
Beyond the...
Jorah.
If we don't count the wildlings he killed in Hardhome, which I don't because they were killed in the episode they were introduced.
I mean,
Walder
direct
Frey
kills
has a high
anyway.
action.
The only one he's
Walder
got
Frey.
is Viserion, that's it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Now that is not true. He killed Theon as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what? That's not true.
Yeah, that's true. He stabbed Theon with a bit of wood.
Yeah, he stabbed Theon straight through his plate armor with a piece of wood.
There's people online who are like, oh, that makes sense because when you're this powerful, wood would go through the steel.
What are we Are we operating on Dragon Ball Z power now?
It doesn't even, that's not even, like that's not how it would work. If you put like a train and then you had a piece of wood stick at the end of it and you put it full power head into someone with plate armor, pretty sure it would just boop them and they would just fling across the floor because they'd be like, whoa, and then you're like,
Or the stick would just splinter.
Yeah, the wood would splinter. Also, I think what I found funniest was when Jorah was stabbed by that dagger. Because, yeah, it's so bullshit, it goes straight through the chest of his plate mail, which is supposed to be the strongest bit. When it comes out, it's just pristine, there's no stab wounds.
yeah, I meant to talk
completely
about that in my
clean.
video, but I was just like, oh fuck it, I think everyone gets the point.
It's just, that's one of the worst moments there, because even other bits of the series show that, yeah, there's wounds left behind, but this just suddenly devolved into a Xena Warrior Princess, where they stab and just nothing there.
Oh. Where am I? Tell Mommy Rags to make more videos. I shall. Also, I love you guys so much. What do you think of the death of Missandei? Bronn and Cersei can't be in the same scene. Yeah, Bronn and Cersei can't be in the same scene. It's quite amusing. Do you guys know that?
Yeah, because they apparently were in a relationship and had a really bad breakup or something.
Yeah. It's
I had
amusing.
no idea that was a thing.
And yeah, Death Missandei, she just casually gets kidnapped when everyone else, all the other named characters survive. It's so casually done. Like, I can't even.
Yeah.
I can't even. It's
The first time we find out that Missandei's been kidnapped is once they're back in King's Landing, which again, they seem to ignore. That's quite a long journey. They can't just go back to
What did-
King's Landing in a couple of
Did
minutes.
Missandei like jump off the ship and swim towards Greyjoy's fleet? What did she do? And why didn't Greyjoy's fleet fucking fuck up that shore that all of their enemies were?
There's no time. They were on a
It's so.
strict,
I don't think there's ever been a more rushed show at this point.
clearly not.
Like, why were they even doing what they did with their forces?
I'm not entirely sure.
I'm just questioning why they wanted to take Dragonstone back in the first place. It's just a rock with no strategic value, really.
Is
Unless
that
you
where
want
they
to
were going? I
blockade.
don't remember. I don't remember where they were going.
Annie was going to Dragonstone for reasons.
Yeah, I guess that comes back to what you just said. What do they want Dragonstone for?
I mean, the one possible reason you'd want it is to blockade King's Landing, which could work if you had the Reach under control, which Dany doesn't. But it goes against her humanitarian way of warfare, because blockading King's Landing would just stop the peasantry, not Cersei, so
Yeah.
her high and mighty talks of, oh, I'm being a decent person, or Varys going, don't burn down the city, is kind of rendered moot if you just plan to starve the bloody thing.
I thought that was funny when Varys is literally like, "You told me to tell you when you're insane. You're insane." She was like, "Yeah, well." Like, what do you think's gonna happen now, Daenerys? He's gonna betray you, and then you're gonna kill him, and I'm gonna sigh.
And,
So much.
and everyone currently knows that there's, at least legally, someone with a far better claim than you brooding up in Winterfell.
People still want it to be revealed that Tyrion is a Targaryen with a better claim than Jon and Daenerys, and I was just like, oh.
But why? Why would you want that?
Also, he
And,
wouldn't have a better claim because the running idea is that he would be the son of Mad King Aerys, which would still make him younger than Rhaegar, who would be the
What if
actual
he
heir
was
of
Mad
Jon.
King Aerys' brother, and he just looks really...
Oh my god, that
Dun,
logic
dun,
would destroy
dun.
everything. Destroy expectations forever.
You know what? Subverting expectations will be like doing normal things. One day that will be the normal... Like, that'll subvert your expectations. For a story to just be mundane, that'll be like, whoa.
Didn't we laugh at Shyamalan for always insisting on the twist?
I don't think people can make stories without twists anymore.
I know I laugh at David Cage for that.
What is a story without a twist? It's boring.
Clearly.
Guy wants to save a princess from an evil monster? That's the most basic, boring story there is. The monster turns out to be the woman. There you go.
If St. George's Dragon was made today, the dragon would end up seducing the woman and just they'd live happily ever after killing George.
Turns out the dragon was all of us.
The Azor
It's just
Ahai
in
was
that
the
corner.
friends we made along the way.
Yeah, I've seen that meme being posted everywhere.
Yeah.
Fucking the friends we made along the way.
It's just they made Melisandre's character so fucking bipolar. She spent
Oh,
5
yeah.
seasons going, Stannis is Azor Ahai, and then oh he's dead. Oh,
So-
Jon is Azor Ahai.
If she turns out to be like if the White Walkers aren't truly dead or whatever, then Melisandre just killed herself for no reason,
Pretty much.
and she let Beric die. Because I love that, by the way. In my video, I highlight that she let Beric die, and then there was this like fucking thread talking about my video, and they're like, "Well, he's just wrong because he missed the dialogue about how she said he served his purpose." I was like, "Bitch, fucking Beric didn't agree to that. It's not like he said, oh yeah, you know what, just let me die, I'm good." She just decides, nah, he's dead. It's like that's an honorable man right there who fights for the good of the realm, but you're just like, you can save him. And you're just like,
And-
nah.
And who, going by your video, dies in one of the most just, I'm pulling the crucifixion shot while I get stabbed.
Yeah, that was really forced.
that's the argument, then why the hell did John get brought back?
Because he needed to distract the dragon. Nailed it.
Fantastic.
Ah,
You've done it again. You've saved David and Dan.
this mission is actually kind of hard. I keep missing it by like 3 seconds. Simpsons Hit and Run is not a casual gamer, right? It's a pro gamer.
Oh god, no! I loved that game, but hated it at the same time because it was so bullshit at times.
Shit, it's
I never made it past the Marge level where you're in Homer's first level. So again, I was about 8 when I did that.
Wow, not a true gamer. Who do you think should / will rule the Seven Kingdoms? I'm expecting that. Actually, I have no fucking clue who's gonna actually win this show, because at this point they might just make the Night King win, and you're like, how? And it's like, he's alive. Like, how? Didn't die.
If it was still the books, I'd say no one. We're just gonna break up the entire thing and go back to individual
That's
kingdoms.
what should happen. It should be that the throne gets destroyed, and there's this big talk about how was it made? It was made by subjugating all the fucking kingdoms, which is precisely why they all revolted. So maybe we just don't have a fucking throne. How about that?
And the Seven Kingdoms is not a natural idea. It was forced upon everybody by one blonde dude with his dragon.
I'm expecting an out of left field candidate based on recent trends, so my prediction is either Varys or, considering he's probably going to die next episode, Qyburn.
Well, they've legitimized Gendry, and he is Robert Baratheon's son now, so
Yeah, everyone thought-
legally he is actually Tommen's heir.
I did not understand that fucking move by Daenerys. It's like you realize that half of the fucking kingdom are gonna want to get behind him now. Like instead of you.
Yeah, you're not the only smart one. There's that line. which is great.
The one thing she did with that is kind of even further delegitimize Cersei's rule.
Yes, though
But
Cersei
that's
can
not
just be
particularly
like,
difficult.
Cersei can just be like, that's just fucking made up. That guy has no actual. She just made that shit up. But she's like, clever, making allies. It's like you gave him Storm's End casually. That does not mean he's just gonna now fight. What? It just racks my brain. It's like an ally. He's gonna need like decades before he could provide you he could be a strong ally. And why would he even be aligned with you? You just casually gave him that because you decided I am queen, therefore I do this. Fucking Jon could have done that. He could have been like, I'm king in the north, fuck the throne, I knight you, lord, whatever of fucking Storm's End. And then he's just like, okay, cool. And then she's like, hey, I do that, I'm queen. Then Jon's like, lol, no.
Because I've seen fan fiction with better endings than this. Jesus.
On episode 5, who knows what we're gonna get.
Well, Cersei seems to just be trying to be the most evil woman ever, with just going, yes, but surrender, no, I'll just execute this random woman who doesn't really serve any purpose. Only to piss off the person with an actual dragon just sitting there.
I miss Littlefinger.
Also, they just killed off Rhaegal, didn't they?
I miss
Rhaegal.
Littlefinger as well.
Rhaegal.
Yeah, who do I want to rule the, like, Seven Kingdoms, though? Or should rule? It's like, if it had to be somebody, probably Tyrion. I don't really know.
Edmure Tully, if he even exists anymore in the show.
Tyrion's like the quote-unquote fan favorite for it, I would think.
They've made him really dumb in the latest seasons, which is weird.
I swear every character that comes in contact with Daenerys has all the fun and life sucked out of them, and just becomes this drone that follows her around saying, yes, my queen.
Joke's on you, I'm American and Wicking right now. Oh. Late night. Americans represent. Boston Tea Party was at night. Dabid? What if Euron shoots dragon? Don't understand. Jon was brought back to distract the dragon with his cock. Great story. I think it's a great arc. Wood penetrates 6-inch concrete when traveling at hurricane speed. It's a stretch, but possible for wood to pierce steel. Doesn't fix the other issues, though. Yeah, but the idea that the Night King stabbed him at hurricane speeds. It's like, what?
Now
Yeah,
we're talking Dragon
he's-
Ball Z bullshit.
Pretty blatantly, just casually, just forcing it in, and you can't just do
Yeah.
that.
let's not go crazy. I like people, because like I've heard that cited before. It's like, yeah, I don't think Night King was a hurricane.
Out of the way, wannabe.
A different IMO. The Neverine from Morrowind is Azor Ahai. Duh. But I'm the queen, though. Danny, literally every episode. Yeah. And you can clearly tell they're trying to take all of her allies away from her. Like, she's lost the Unsullied for good now, right? Right? Right?
Surely.
Those ships had all of her Unsullied on it, correct? Or am I just insane? I don't know.
You're sane. It's just I'm not sure Dave and Benioff and Weiss care.
In before, she has 100,000 of them attack the city next episode, and we're like, oh.
Oh, now come on.
That's the thing.
It's
'cause
not like we have a limited number of those men who require about 15 years of
Oh,
dedicated
God,
training.
yeah. You know what would have
And
been
then we
really
lost
cool is when Sansa and Daenerys have their back and forth about who should rule. If Sansa had said to her about ruling the North that we refuse to be slaves to another king or something like that, just to make it so that Dany's like, slaves? So maybe she'd come around. But I think the show is actually going to make her a villain, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think so.
In the last 2 episodes.
They've been trying to do a lot of, I guess, damage to her. Like they killed Missandei and Rhaegal this episode, and
And
she doesn't seem to
Jorah's
take-
gone, so...
Oh yeah, and Jorah's gone, and her relationship with Jon broke down.
You thought wrong.
Yeah, because it's incest now.
Yeah, and he's not okay with that.
Oh, they're suddenly caring about that now. Okay.
Well, Jon does. She doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, she's a
True.
Targaryen.
Yeah. Where's her
though
Habsburg
she was
girl?
basically molested by her older brother, so she should probably have a few problems with it.
The lasers were
You'd
only
hope,
the beginning.
but-
Even now, our all-purpose evil cola is spreading underground through your water supply.
Viserion died this season, Rhaegal died in season 7, loves. I believe you have that backwards to sneaks.
No, Viserion is the one who died in season 7.
Yeah. If you want clarification, I believe Jon says he won't be riding Rhaegal because Rhaegal needs to heal, and then Rhaegal
Yeah,
dies.
that sounds cool. I mean,
That
oh,
healing
no,
process
no,
didn't
work
train
out.
Fails.
So we've got Drogon left.
Who am I kidding? Zombies
Yay.
eating brains? Oh, this is
Got one
gonna
dragon out of
rock.
3. Doing brilliantly.
At least it's Drogon, the one that everyone actually cares about.
So the tally of Daenerys' forces is Drogon and about 60 Unsullied, right?
If that. Because we started with 8,000, didn't we?
Night King stabs Theon with wooden stick at hurricane speeds, is too slow to catch a drop knife. Dragon likes batter. Haggard pizzas himself to death. Yeah, it's all so dumb and painful. It hurts my brain. My Bran. I love the idea though that Bran was just fucking looking at wheelchairs in the past. That's what he's been doing. When he was like, I have to go now to Theon, he was literally just perusing past wheelchairs. That was what he was.
The guy who knows the history to pretty much everything anywhere ever, and he's just looking up wheelchairs for himself. Nobody really cares that he's around. Nobody knows that he
Do
exists.
you think they're going to
because
pay off Bran in some way, shape, or form?
They have to, but I don't know what they're gonna do.
I think it's entirely possible they're keeping him around basically so Jon can take the throne and he can take Winterfell, even though they'll actually go to Sansa at this point.
He won Winterfell, yeah. He wants a tree to sit in, I think.
I saw a leak mixed in with the legitimate leaks for this episode, stating something like Bran's. It's some World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King bullshit, where Bran essentially says there must always be a Night's King for some unspecified reason. So I wonder if they're going to do that.
Why
That
must
was
there
fake.
always be a Night's King?
Oh,
Good question.
the next apocalypse is going to be fucking hysterical. Where's this big build-up and then the Night King just comes out in a wheelchair going, one moment,
Wheelchair.
and we have a disabled Night King, and everyone just goes, oh, we can't fight a disabled enemy.
Yeah, but it'd be a real good wheelchair though, because you'd have plenty of
It
time
would be
to
a Night's King
invest
wheelchair,
in
yeah.
wheelchair.
That thing can travel up mountains.
just Loki turns into Onvar from 140k.
Oh, I need you.
Suddenly,
As I
Facebook.
say, it's a stretch, yeah. Is Danny blaming John for Dragon's death? Fucking, I don't know, Danny's just going on a warpath for next episode, so we're gonna kill a whole bunch of innocent people, and then John will have to kill her after she kills Varys and kills everyone, because everyone killed everyone, everyone's dead.
She's probably gonna Dragonfire King's Landing. That's gonna set off the wildfire, and then the entire thing's gonna go up as a nuke.
How she's gonna get close enough to do all of this slaughtering of innocents that's being talked about is beyond me.
She's gonna just fly it. Oh god, it blows my mind that she would just.
Past
You know,
those,
like, when she's-
20 scorpions.
When she's driving Drogon into the scorpions, and then she's like, "Oh shit!" Yeah, that is a valid. I'm driving into, so like you can to guide it, to drive it.
Yeah, yeah.
She's essentially nearly suiciding him, and I thought the goal there was that she was like, "Fuck it, we're gonna take a few of these and burn them." And I was just thinking to myself, like, well, the smart decision would just be wait for them all to fire, dodge it, and then attack. And then she pulls away, and I was like, "Oh, she is doing that." And then she just fucks off. And I was like, "You realize that if they all fire, they've got to reload. So just go in, just risk it, just do it. You're there, do it. Just blow them all up. You realize you kill all of them because they're never not gonna have the scorpions."
In the time it takes them to reload, Drogon could probably torch every single ship.
Yeah. And like she
think-
just
and
fucks
to
off
think
and
this
ditches
is-
in.
I'll pay you in back.
And to think this is all because Tyrion Varys told her not to just go into King's Landing with 3 dragons at the beginning of season 7.
I Drogon behind the fucking rocks that they were hiding behind on the other side. I'll shoot him then, and then just have him fucking poke his head out, go pfft, and then hide again.
Thing
There's
is,
no way they could possibly
Cersei
see
can't
it coming.
have that many men. I mean, her side suffered the entire War of
Well,
5 Kings, and then pulled an army out of their fucking asses. to go
Everybody's
take
been
Highgarden.
pissed since season like 6 or 7, I think it's 7, yeah, that she has followers. She's like the worst person to ever exist.
It's
She
a
blew up
miracle.
the Pope.
Yeah,
Well,
she's
no,
like the least favorable person in King's Landing, and yet
She blew up the Pope in the Vatican. Like, how King's Landing isn't in like open rebellion is beyond me.
has the
Considering
golden,
back in season
she has the golden
Considering-
company. That's,
back in season 2, we had an open rebellion over a bit of bread. I think they
Because they just don't like the Lannisters. Now here's a Lannister that blew up the Pope in the Vatican along with a shitload of other
Pope.
nobles and such like.
that was like super popular too.
Yeah, everyone loved him.
the Pope who was going out of his way to say, yeah, I'm for the peasantry.
Yep.
So one has to start questioning who the hell is actually serving in Cersei's army?
And,
Who are
and
these people?
the fact that Tarly supports her after she just nuked his liege lord is
Yeah, they didn't do anything with that, did they? I was really disappointed that they fucking left that in the dust.
I'm kind of disappointed there's no high towers at all. It's just, yep, here's a Tarly, and then there's no high tower, even though he has 15,000 men.
Daenerys just torched them all, I guess.
I'm gonna put it out there. I don't really like Daenerys. You know, I think I don't like her that much. She's
I've
kind of
really
annoying.
disliked her ever since Marine.
Yeah, I stopped liking her after season 1. Season 1, I was like, I like you because you're a person that lots of bad things happens to, and you've really tried your ass off. But then she sort of just starts getting really up her own ass, which, I mean, if it all results in her being a bad guy, then I guess it all makes sense. Okay.
I've always, yeah, same. About season 2, I started disliking her as a character, but I understood why she was so stuck up, because she's been basically totted around the entire world, going, you will be the greatest queen ever.
Finds out it's not even her throne. She's like, oh.
I mean, I just wish they'd actually mention that she's just turning into a Viserys with tits.
Yeah, pretty much. So I actually,
basically-
I would prefer him at this point.
Well, Harry Lloyd was a great actor. We needed him more stuff.
He's a more charismatic villain.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Daenerys just kind of sits there looking smug, and it's really obnoxious.
Well, like, everyone's like, she's gonna be the tragic hero, and I'm like, there's not much of a hero, really.
I will admit that's what I kind of dislike about most of the, I suppose, female performances we're getting, is just most of them just sit back and look smug. Cersei, look smug. Dany, look smug. Arya, look smug.
Answer.
Oh, she just kind of is just nothing. There's nothing going
Kind
on.
of
She's
stonewalls
just
her
there.
face.
Coming through.
He is a screwdriver. This is,
Oh, I wanted
I'm done now, but thank you so much for your content. I love everything that you and EFAP has done. I hate so much of current media, and you explain well. There's still some good stuff out there. You just gotta, you know, look for a few years, and you'll find it.
Just
Where
need to know when to look.
it's not just
Video
a fairy tale. These things exist.
Video games are doing pretty decent so long as you stay away from Western AAA.
There's a bunch of things. Oh, there's that Game of Thrones early seasons. No, that's not right. Go watch
Yeah.
that.
Pity they stopped adapting it at season 4 though.
Yeah, and it was really weird to end it at episode 9. I mean, it was at its height for me, but it just disappeared.
Oh, out of control.
I got so many comments about that. They were like, nothing wrong with anything in season 4, and I was like, yeah.
I don't know, there's still problems. Frankly, there's problems every season, but it's just after 4 it got really obvious.
5 is the disaster season where everything falls apart. And then 6, they like try and bring a bit of it back. 7 was awful, and now 8's awful.
Harder than it is.
I
This
think
is
8's the worst for me though, because it did the most damage that any season could ever do.
The important thing is
It
I'm not
destroyed
imagining
the
these
core
guys.
of the narrative, or what, like, very... If it wasn't the core of the narrative, then that was a whole lot of setup for not much.
Right, yeah, because there's a lot of people with takes like, didn't get it. The point is that it is all about the Game of Thrones. It's like,
It is? Is that the point?
the books are
Do
called
you
A
see-
Song of Ice and Fire. We've killed the ice. We're
see the
working
joke?
on the fire drive.
We're down
Uh,
to one fire.
thanks, police. The police in this game are almost like this obstacle that tries to prevent me from winning. What's that about?
Some kind of artificial barrier of blockage.
That's how I would rate it, yes. It was funny, I saw a joke where they were like, the opening scene of Game of Thrones, Season 1, Episode 1, should have been a bunch of the Night's Watchmen running away from a pregnant Cersei. Just to make sure she was properly set up.
Hey, Rags is here.
Was
Just a
it?
future vision.
Yeah.
Hey Rags, wanna jump into the call? You artificial barrier of blockage. Like, I'll only stream for another like half an hour probably, because it's such a bizarre time to stream. And
Like, I'm actually off to Wales later in the day, so
that's where I lives.
North Wales, not South Wales. South Wales is just an English colony.
Snowdonia? Or-
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Near Portmadoc.
Hi, Raggers.
Been to visit Snowdonia a couple of times on a school trip. It was nice.
It's a lovely
That's all
place.
I have to say.
Ugh, I guess he does want to come in. Ew. Adding Raggers. Hello, Rags.
Hello.
The newest episode wasn't very good.
The one with the fight.
Oh no, there's a newer one now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but like a lot of people, some people sent me on Twitter saying it's much worse than episode 3, and I was like, are you kidding me? Episode 3 killed
it
the
still
show. Like, you can't really get much worse than that. It was
So another episode came out and it wasn't very good, huh?
It was
You,
pretty bad, yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
want the rundown from the episode?
I'm not sure you can make much sense of
sure.
it because it's a lot of character stuff. So you're just gonna be like, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that?
Well, to begin with, Jamie and Brienne have sex.
Again, Rags doesn't know who these people are.
Jamie and Brienne. Brienne's the short blonde, the tall, the big gal, the Amazonian chick with the short hair, right?
Yep, that's the one.
And
Yep.
Jamie is the one with the short brown hair and the scruffy looking kind of beard sort of thing.
No, Jamie's the one who only says one word and hasn't appeared since season, what was it, 6? But no, he's still there.
It doesn't
Alright.
matter anyway because like fucking to explain like
How-
what's been happening.
How'd it go?
It's bad.
Wait, the sex was bad?
The
Oh,
best thing I can
I
give
think
you
the
to
sex was pretty
describe the
good from what I
episode-
could tell.
Crush you between my thighs.
The best I can give you to describe the episode is a dragon getting shot down in 3 shots by a teleporting sniper fleet.
In the water, yeah. That would make the most sense. Pretty
Oh.
cool. There's a character, Rags. His special ability is to know where and when everybody is whenever they step into the ocean in any way, shape, or form. Like, be it ship or walking,
Step
swimming,
into the
whatever.
ocean.
Yep.
What's wrong with going into the ocean?
He just knows where you are whenever you do that. It's really cool.
And he's able to sneak up on
Yeah,
you.
there be Greyjoys.
He will literally sneak up an entire fleet of ships on you. He can just do that. You'll never see him coming.
General Creed.
Amazing. I like him a lot, and it's not a complete fucking shoehorn in to make it so that Cersei has a fighting chance in the show. Not that at all.
It's literally her only asset at the moment is having a bit of a fleet.
Ah! Oh, Jesus. Wait, that didn't knock the thing off? Okay, this game's being kind to me today.
To be anywhere.
I'm buying my new PC parts right now.
Neat.
Going through my list and I'm getting all the things.
Oh, nice.
So I'm fucking spending money. And it hurts. But it'll be worth it.
The Deadmans must always have a
Deadman.
Night King. Part of the crew, part of the dead, part of the crew. I don't think they're gonna do a Pirates on us, but maybe. Maybe I'm
Orlando
wrong.
Bloom cast as an adult Brown.
Maybe I'm wrong, but since when did Game of Thrones have so many slow-mo shots, especially when cutting off heads? It's worse than a soap opera. I don't mind slow-mo here and there, but man, did the Night King take a long time to get to Bran. He was like... And same for Melisandre with the fire thing, but I think she was just... She had like diarrhea and she was trying...
Don't recall they had any slow-mo shots outside of maybe
I have a
Blackwater episode, season 2.
When Ned Stark was killed, did they have slow-mo on that, or was it just normal speed?
That
that's-
was slow,
that's-
I believe.
I think bits of it meant
Oh.
slow-mo where it's focused on his face, and then where it's actually executed, that's fast, that's regular motion.
That was another joke that I thought was great. Someone said like, hey, they cut away when Ned Stark was killed. Maybe he survived.
Well, listen,
Ned
if you're gonna cut off someone's head, you better make sure they're dead.
Yeah,
That's
there's actually well, I'm sure everyone knows. There's the behind-the-scenes bits where they said they specifically left in that one frame where the sword goes through his neck to make sure no one would think, oh, he can come back. No, he's dead.
What armor rationing was complete before Rhaegal dragged his broken body to Winterfell? Green lives don't matter. Apparently not. Green lives... Don't tell Fringy about this, but yeah. Here's for green lives. Oh no, 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 guys, it was her turn. These white men are colluding to cuck our queen. These racist, misogynist writers are ruining our show. All of Twitter. What the fuck? I love Dan and Dave. Wait, are people saying... I mean, it just comes across as fucking standard bad writing to me. I don't really need to see an agenda in it. In fact, the fact that they're making Daenerys out to be a villain, wouldn't that be, like, opposite of agendas? I think they'd want to, like, no. Not doing that? I don't fucking know. Bad writing.
Still trying to piece together what was actually being said in there.
It's something to decipher, I think is the point of that. Why
That's
Dany
right.
don't kill Cersei when they show zombies? She would have win all. I agree with that statement despite its limited grammatical efficiency.
Has Vader joined the chat or something?
Oh wow, you racist. Whoa. Get away from alien car. Okay.
King Brandon, what if Dany becomes pregnant? She is pregnant.
It's pronounced Pregos. Also, that was an interesting thing. Someone was like, the fact that Tyrion mentions that she's pregnant when Tyrion hasn't seen it before her and Greyjoy had done the dimbledangs would be enough for Bronn to realize that not his kid.
I can see people busting out that he's too stupid argument because of how much of a fop he is in the show.
Oh, come on.
Oh, he's more rockstar than pirate, isn't he?
Wants to put a finger in the bum.
Put his finger in the bum. Wiggle it around. Use your
They turned one of. I mean, admittedly, I do not like Euron in the books. I think it's a bit too ludicrously evil to really be fun. But he is intimidating and he is generally terrifying villain. But in the show, he's just a bloke with a fleet and a bit of a beard.
He's just
there.
really good at everything.
Yeah,
Reminds
he
me of
just
Ramsay.
walks
Yeah.
in, casually wipes out the sand snakes, and then proceeds to do basically nothing except
It was-
teleport.
Way too much focus on Ramsay. Looking back,
He
how much
got
time was spent on Ramsay?
because they saw that people liked how despicable he was. I think so. They just They just kept going with it.
It wasn't because they saw other people liked it, it was because they liked how despicable it was.
Oh, that's even
Those
worse.
naughty writers.
Because there's a YouTuber called The Dragon Demands who goes through all the commentaries, and there's some stuff in those commentaries that would end any writing career if anyone actually bothered to report on them. Like, they explicitly say that they changed the entire Dawn plot specifically because they got an idea of armor. And basically every major change they made to a character arc was because they liked the actor and wanted to get more face at him. So the Stannis scene, the Stannis storyline was changed to make it so just heart-wrenching and destructive for him because they liked Stephen Delaney's fuck the world face.
Don't remind me of Stannis.
I was gonna say I'm still upset over Stannis.
Wrong. So wrong. Everyone wants like a Game of Thrones Brotherhood treatment where someone just gives it another shot sometime in the future. It's funny because I'd be like, okay, but there's some things I want to keep. Like, can we get Charles Dance back, even though he'll be ancient by then?
Let's get Charles Dance, Stephen Delaney, Sean Bean, Mark Attic, please get them all of them.
Oh my god,
back.
yeah, he was like perfect casting for an old Robert Baratheon. It's surprising looking back how good he was with it. But yeah, I just want my Tywin that way, and I don't want to see anyone else play him because I think they'll.
There's only really two people I can see also playing Tywin. They're both dead. Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee.
See,
Yeah, it's funny that those two could probably do it.
seeing
Danny
the
DeVito.
cast of villains these days just puts into perspective how good Tywin was.
I forever miss Tywin.
And the great thing about Tywin was, unlike the villains we got these days, is he wasn't infallible. He did make mistakes.
Yeah. He like owned the shit out of. He had a really great flaw, and it part of why I like his story so much. Paul gets him. He's like such a mastermind, but that flaw gives him this major blind spot. Fuck.
I think at the moment you're just indulging in the definition of insanity in the game at the moment.
Hey, you saw that I slightly got further. So I haven't actually seen any Game of Thrones, so I ask you, would you say I should watch it, or considering how fucked up it's getting, should I just not bother and I completely forget about this game, one of my favorite forms of childhood? Oh, one of my favorites from his childhood. Yeah, this is a fucking great game. This is the best game ever. Totally. Yeah, I would say watch seasons 1 through 4, and then look at like a synopsis highlight and check out some of the better action / character scenes from the future episodes then. Like, just skip through. I
Or
don't
just
know.
pretend that whatever your headcanon is real.
That too.
Keep watching past season 4 if you have friends to laugh at bad things with.
That too.
The problem with the series as a whole is I'm not sure it's ever going to be finished in the book sense. Because I don't think it's ever going to finish.
Yeah, I
it.
don't think the books will ever finish.
It doesn't seem that way.
Which I think, frankly, will kind of destroy the series.
If there aren't any more, will it destroy the series?
Well, because if the story is just left as a cliffhanger, it's going to be this great unfinished story. It's going to be well liked and well known, but it's not going to reach the heights of, say, Lord of the Rings, which is just nice, finished, it's all done, everything done. Yes, we don't know Aragorn's tax policy. Shut up, George R. R. Martin. But it's finished. I mean, at least Tolkien had the decency to die after making the full story and write the backstory. George R. Martin's doing it the other way around. He's going to finish the backstory and then drop dead.
Varys this episode, cocks are important. A white dude should get the throne. You can't trust the queen. She's evil and PMS. What the fuck? I love Dan and Dave now. Oh, I get it. I don't know, I just feel like they're setting up Varys to die. That seems to be the only thing that happened this episode. His conversation with Tyrion towards the end of the film episode, and Tyrion's just like, don't.
Well, what does he have left to do? His character arc
That's the problem.
ended in season 4.
Varys is... his story needed to end with Littlefinger. They were the yin and yang of the fucking universe.
Littlefinger's death still pisses me off.
He just spent an entire season bumming around Winterfell, not really doing
He
anything.
was defeated in a mental fucking battle by Arya and Sansa Stark. It's so painful.
hmm they used him as a stepping stone to show that they've grown without actually making them grow at all. Fantastic writing.
How could you do that to Littlefinger?
Even though, in many
I
ways,
like Littlefinger.
in many ways, other than the Night King, he is the main villain because he's the one who caused all this bullshit.
He was.
That's Littlefinger's the reason all this shit happened, and he just casually gets killed by the 2 Stark kids. It's like, cool.
His death doesn't mean anything. Nothing really happens as a result of Littlefinger's death. It's no like.
You know when she says, "How do you respond to these charges, Lord Baelish?" And, like you just need a music cue like da da da. He's like, "Oh my god." Scooby Doo.
Under control.
I think Varys fell victim to the thing with Daenerys as well, where every single character around her just becomes insufferable, just boring.
And my car is
Yeah.
gone. And the ashtray was full of pennies. I need another car fast.
Jorah's story lasted way longer than it should have as well.
I'm still flabbergasted that
Crunching time.
what they did with the whole grayscale thing of just
So
okay.
pointless.
Yeah.
What's the cure to grayscale? Just cut it off.
Turns out Ramsay missed his true calling as a doctor.
Yeah.
Too many poops, too many. Oh, $200 off the GPU I'm going to be getting. Yeah, let's do that.
Very
That's
good
excellent.
decision.
That's
Ramsay.
actually fantastic. That's actually fantastic.
Isn't Dagon Stone supposed to be where the stone dragons are sleeping? At least that's what I think was in the book.
It's
there
a theory in the book.
There's another theory that from the promo from the next episode, Euron is like surprised after a dragon noise, and everyone's expecting that means there's going to be
you're
more.
on drugs.
Right. Episodes.
Please, no
wait.
Dragon Ex Machina.
Game of Thrones. Yep.
Well,
Episode five
they only
trailer.
there's only 2 episodes left, right, for Game of Thrones?
Yep.
How many Dragon Balls do they have at this point?
Okay. Tyrion's on Dragonstone now for some reason. Cersei's looking smug as per usual. And now Tyrion's back with the army. No, on Dragonstone. Jesus Christ, more teleporting.
When was the last time Cersei did something that wasn't stand around looking smug?
I am back. But yeah, what I was saying was, yeah, there's a theory that they're gonna like bring in a bunch of new dragons, and want to die.
Good God, I hope not.
And another theory is that a dragon is gonna rise out of the ocean, and that's why Euron's gonna be like, "Oh my god!" And I was just, it's so funny that everyone's so desperate to make theories when the episode 3 was literally like, "Fuck theories." They're still trying
Yeah.
to make theories.
Reckless driving.
Or it's possible that Drogon pulls Euron's trick on him. He's in front of him, and then a poof of smoke. He's behind him.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I am
Jaime takes an ugly chick's virginity, jokes about it with his bro, then pieces out on her to go save the realm again. Tormund loses Brienne but gets laid right after anyways. What a bunch of yeah.
vengeance will
And
be
then the
mine.
wildlings just leave for the north, which still bothers me heavily. Like
Do they just go
I
back
actually
in the
expect we
wall?
won't be seeing them again. Neither will we see Ghost again. I actually think that's probably the end of it.
So do the wildlings just go, right, well, the White Walkers are dead, let's go home? Do
Yeah,
they
because
go-
this is the thing, the
What?
wildlings are like, well, the fucking zombies are dead, so we can just go home now.
Has everyone forgotten that everyone between Winterfell and the Wall is dead? There's all that lovely, more fertile land for them to have.
Yeah, which is the part that's super dumb. Like, why wouldn't they just fucking live? It's like, we like the north. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
just let them have last turf. I mean, there's no Umbers left to take it.
That's the thing. There's no one left in the fucking kingdoms at this point. They need people to populate it anyway.
Well, every kingdom is depopulated as fuck because there's what 4 characters in Cersei's plot. There's no one in the Westlands, no one in the Vale, or the Reach or Dawn. It's all just empty. There's just nothing there. That's what I dislike about the show. It just makes Westeros feel barren.
It's harder than it is.
Well, they fucked up everything, man. Fucked up
Any
literally
sense?
everything.
Any sense there was an actual world behind these characters is completely gone by this point. The
It
fact that
was
the
gone when Highgarden was taken, because they just implied that the Reach is just Tarly and Tyrell.
High Garden, man.
Sweet acceleration.
The really insulting thing is that the Tyrells are probably going to win the Southern plot in the books, at least until everything goes shit north. Because they're basically the Tudors.
Sayonara, dude.
That was so painful.
He toots, he scored.
Where'd you get that?
There's a Starbucks cup in the background somewhere.
Social Security.
In the episode? That'd be pretty fun.
I'd heard about that as well. I think it's.
Oh, looks like we have to redo the whole thing. Ha.
Could have airbrushed it out, but they're too incompetent.
Ha.
There's just no time.
Tyrion
Yeah,
ends up
rush.
running Starbucks King's Landing. That's his character arc. He ends up running Starbucks.
It's the perfect ending for Tyrion.
Yep.
Makes perfect thematic sense.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
Remember,
No, he could hide inside of the Starbucks cup when the zombies come. Oh no, they're dead.
he is a
Zombies are
smallman.
gone.
He is a smallman.
Please
There's
don't
no more zombies.
There's no more zombies. Did all of the little White Walkers die when the big White Walker died?
Yep.
Apparently, yeah,
Oh,
that's how
shit.
it works.
Is that how? Oh,
And
Yeah,
apparently
because-
that might not be the end of them, quote unquote. There's a lot of possible leaks that they're coming back. I just don't get how that works.
Well, the only way that they could really come back is, you know how in season 6 they revealed the White Walkers were not their own culture, they were just human pest controls got out of hand.
no.
The only way they could have more White Walkers is if the children did another repeat thing where they shoved the obsidian into a bloke's chest.
Well, apparently the Night King was born with the ability to create them. You're just wrong, okay?
And apparently
Why didn't
his
he make any
creation-
lady Night Walkers?
Fucking sex it.
Because he's a massive?
He's an absolute massive.
Oh, well,
Night King theory sucks. Yes,
the
dude.
thing is, the actual Night King from the books is not the first White Walker, he's a bloke who married another. A female one, not a male one, he's not
Yeah,
gay.
but who cares about the books? They're stupid. The show has way better stories.
No expert on the books, but the others in the books are essentially just kind of snow elves, right? Something to that
That's gay.
effect.
They prefer the name Snelves.
The book basically goes out of its way to just imply that this is its own separate species that is as old as everything else. It is its own unique culture. We do not know why they're doing this. They just are. There's no reasoning with them because they're just alien to humans.
They're called Wiggers.
Whereas the book, no, whereas the show just went, nah, mate, they're just some exterminators that got out of hand.
Let's do this thing. How about them apples?
Well, it makes complete sense if you don't think about it.
Villain.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to heaven.
Complete in its incompleteness.
That is a true.
That hurt.
Man, I managed to kick this level's ass. This is like one of the hardest ones.
Somebody tell
High
Isn't
me
this the
five,
last
everyone.
what happened.
Congrats.
It's the last one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Did it?
Crystal eggs and the crunch. You aren't gonna put me back in the home, are you?
Which I think is a relatively good place to just sort of toddle off this random stream. I just wanted to complain about Game of Thrones, okay? It's a bad. Okay, guys? Sorry.
Complaining about Game of Thrones is an endless pastime.
Oh yeah, I imagine the next episode is going to be even worse.
Death, you effeminate wriggling spacewad.
So,
Seems like, because again, they're setting up for a big massacre that, by everything we've been told, shouldn't be able to happen.
it's pronounced Massivka.
Oh, cut your fingernails.
I'm terribly
Oh.
sorry for offending
The
someone.
trailer has that shot of the Golden Company marching out, so we're presumably just going to kill off Harry Strickland and the Golden Company in this episode as well.
Why not? But, yes, it's been fun, ladles and jelly spoons. I shall... I'll just answer that quickly. What's your predictions? I bet although Whammon but Sansa and Arya died, Dany killed by Jon, and Bran gets the throne with a council of 10. I've seen that being a leak, actually. I don't believe that that's your assumption. I've read that as a leak, that apparently that's gonna happen. But,
Yeah, well.
I think you stole a leak as your own assumption. But either way, I don't
Damn, it
fucking
was-
know.
Oh, was Shadowplay off? I just got like a. Damn it.
I told you, dude. Always keep Shadowplay on.
Well, I thought it was on. I don't remember taking it off, but apparently it was off, and that was shit because I just went fucking crazy sauce here.
Stupid video game credits.
Well then, goodbye everybody and good morning / whatever. Toodle pip cheerio.
Bye.